Hello, and welcome to Founder Freedom, From Hustler to CEO, the podcast built for e-commerce entrepreneurs who are ready to work less, earn more, and scale smarter. Here we explore the stories of visionary entrepreneurs, inventors, and changemakers who are reshaping industries with innovation and passion. So imagine you're enjoying the perfect beach day, warm sun, ocean breeze, when suddenly out of nowhere, a beach umbrella comes flying at you high speed. Sounds crazy, right? But for thousands of people each year, this is a terrifying reality. In fact, more than 3,000 people end up in emergency rooms, usually due to beach umbrella related injuries. And unfortunately, some of these accidents have been fatal. But one man saw this problem firsthand and decided to change everything. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome Bill Schermerhorn, founder of BeachBub, the company that has revolutionized beach umbrella safety. His mission? To make beach days safer, stress-free, and enjoyable for everyone. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, Bill, before we dive into your incredible journey, can you give us the elevator pitch for BeachBub? What's your company all about?
Yeah, so just like you explained in your intro there, we all enjoy going to the beach with our friends and family members. Unfortunately, my wife and I saw and witnessed a horrendous accident where a little girl was struck by a beach umbrella, hitting her in the face and severely injuring her. From that day forward, my life on the beach has changed because now I am totally aware of flyaway beach umbrellas. So that very day, the solution to the problem that I saw that everybody saw became very apparent to me. And that is, it's already been solved with patio umbrellas. We simply put a heavy weighted base on the bottom of a patio umbrella and the umbrella is not going to go anywhere. Well, unfortunately, we don't put heavy weighted bases on the bottom of beach umbrellas because it's too unrealistic to think people are going to carry that to and from the beach. I came up with a very simple solution, made a portable device. We use the sand on the beach. We fill it up on the beach with the sand that's on the beach to create the weight.
Nice. Well, that story is pretty shocking. I mean, I know it was a terrible sight to have witnessed in 2009, but can you tell the story of just a little bit of how the emotional impact kind of affected you and made you come up with this solution?
Yeah, well, you sit on the beach and you witness this, and you witness the parents' reaction, the grandparents' reaction, everybody that's sitting on the beach witnessed this, and I think everybody kind of subliminally sees umbrellas flying around on the beach, but they don't think they can do anything about it. Once I realized what had happened and we saw the results, the solution was very evident. We got to find some way to put a weighted base on the bottom of a beach umbrella, and so from that day forward, for the last 16 years, I have been the lead advocate in the U.S., if not the world, of bringing attention to setting up beach umbrellas with a weighted system. There's several weighted systems out there. We happen to be one of the first. It's very simple to use. It's easy to carry to and from the beach. In 2011, I received my first of 8 U.S. utility patents on this product. And whenever there's a beach umbrella accident in the last 10 years, the networks have called me and I've appeared on network television or by major news publications, just bringing attention to this, that this is a solvable problem. It's not an act of nature. If you put a heavy weighted base and you use the sand on the beach to create that weight, you, in essence, have solved the problem to a large extent. Unfortunately, the resorts, municipalities, beach umbrella rental companies, and basically beach brothers, beachgoers at large, use the products that are coming from China that literally have zero attention to functionality, to safety. They say just stick the pole in the ground or rock it back and forth, get it to a certain depth, or use some kind of screw device. But that's all debunked now as a result of all the testing that was performed by the Consumer Product Safety Engine, where they actually started testing these things. They realized we've got a problem on here. And they came up with a solution, which was put a heavy weighted base on the bottom of a beach umbrella and you're going to solve the problem.
Right. Right. So, and for decades, I mean, we've just accepted that this is the way it is. I mean, you kind of got into, but what do you think the industry ignored this safety issue for so long?
Well, there's a couple reasons for that. The Consumer Product Safety Commission came out with guidelines a long time ago. They didn't do any testing or they didn't get any engineering statistics to go ahead and determine what the guidelines would be. They simply went out to the professionals, the lifeguards, facility managers, resort managers, people up and down the coastline of the United States and said, how do you put in a beach umbrella? They figured, well, these are the experts. These are the people that have been doing it for decades. They ought to know. And unfortunately, they got the same answer over and over again. And that was spike it into the beach, rock it back and forth to a certain depth, maybe 18 to 24 inches, which we all know is an impossible thing to do. And then tilt into the wind, assuming that the wind's never going to change direction. It's going to help drag it out of the beach. So when the Consumer Product Safety Commission came up with that, they published those guidelines. They have admonished those guidelines. They basically said those guidelines are no longer effective and they're actually dangerous. The problem is we can't get those off the internet. In April of last year, as the result of the ASTM, which I was the chair of this committee, help with the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the testing was done. All the testing was done by the engineers from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. And they actually for the first time ever, they went out on the beaches and tested all these different types of beach umbrellas and beach umbrella anchors. They tested their own protocols. And at the first time they realized that their own protocols, their own guidelines were not only ineffective, but they were dangerous. The problem is everybody's just ignoring them for a number of reasons. They think it's too difficult to add another procedure or another device to anchor the umbrellas. They feel like just sticking the pole in the ground and anchoring or twisting it back and forth and tilting the wind is sufficient. And unfortunately, the legal community has defended that for years by saying, well, it's an act of nature. What can you do? You can't control the wind. We know that's not the case anymore. And so we are actually spending a lot of time as we speak in DC and on Capitol Hill, actually visiting county commissioners meetings, city council meetings to advise people that there is a standard out there now. It's the ASTM F3681-24 beach umbrella safety standard that says a beach umbrella must remain in place and secure in winds up to 30 miles an hour and must have 75 pounds of resistance attached to the bottom of the pole to prevent it from flying out of the hole and actually tumbling down looking to impale somebody.
Right. That's crazy. So you saw this major problem and you went to work trying to create a better umbrella for beach days.
Correct.
You kind of described what's a little bit different, but like from a consumer's perspective, how is it different? Like how does my day look different when I go to grab your umbrella and walk it out to the beach?
Well, initially, my initial solution was just to come up with a base that we could put on any beach umbrella. Unfortunately, when customers in 2015 started using our umbrella base and put it on their umbrellas, and primarily most of the umbrellas come from China or overseas, they're built to about a 10 to 12 mile an hour standard. And when you hit about a 12 mile an hour, the umbrellas start to invert, they start to rock, they break, and they come out of the sand. Our umbrella base will withstand winds up to 44, 45 miles an hour before anything starts to even look like it's going to dislodge from the beach. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there weren't any umbrellas that would match the performance of the base. So I went out to the commercial umbrellas in this country, beach umbrella manufacturers, and said, I want to develop an umbrella that will withstand a 35 mile an hour gust of wind, but easy enough for customers to carry to and from the beach. And they all said, why would you want to create an umbrella that you're going to have people that don't have the skill set of understanding how to put a beach umbrella in the sand? Why would you develop an umbrella that's going to go flying down the beach and injuring people? We almost like it when umbrellas kind of self-destruct in a 10 mile an hour wind because then they lose the ability to fly. Well, that doesn't do much good if you're sitting on a beach, because we all know the average wind speed on a beach is going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 miles an hour, with gusts of winds could be anywhere from 2 to 3 times that on any given day. So it's a flaw. It's basically a flawed system. So we ended up developing an umbrella that would match the performance of the base. So now we have a commercial umbrella that's built for the average consumer. So we have 50, 60, 70-year-old beachgoers that can actually take this. It's in a well-made bag. Everything comes in a bag. They put everything in there. Within 3 minutes, they're set up on the beach, and now they're secure on a beach. And the winds are not affecting us. At 20 miles an hour in our wind tunnel testing, it almost looks like it's like a fake video because the umbrella is not even moving. It's so well built. So
that's hilarious.
Built a commercial standard.
So, I mean, is this umbrella, the BeachBub, is it heavier or bulkier than what I'm used to grabbing and taking out to the beach?
Yes. So the average beach umbrella that you're going to the beach with weighs 2 to 3 pounds. It's not sufficient. It's a glorified rain umbrella. Our umbrella itself weighs about 7 to 8 pounds. It's not too heavy for the average person to actually be able to pick up and put up. We struggle with sometimes trying to get people to understand what 8 to 9 pounds might feel like. Think of it this way: a gallon of whole milk weighs about 9.5 pounds. So everybody can relate to how heavy a gallon of milk weighs. This weighs just a little bit less than that. When you put all the components, the sand scoop, the base, the sand gopher, which helps make the hole for your umbrella to go 10 inches in the sand, everything goes in that bag. It's just under 10 pounds, but it's a very well made bag. It's a nice wide padded strap with a molded handle. You can put 2 of these on your shoulder and you don't like you're feeling like you got anything on your shoulders at all. It's very, very comfortable to take to and from the beach.
Nice. So, I mean, it's kind of a big win that you realized this problem and brought it to our beach going days. Can you share a good, compelling story about, I think you told me about that resort or municipality that adopted the BeachBub for safety reasons?
So yes, so we have several municipalities up and down the East Coast that for unfortunately, for one reason or another, they've experienced a beach umbrella accident involving either a resort umbrella, a beach services umbrella, or maybe one of their own municipal umbrellas. And unfortunately, they get sued. And when they get sued, then they are forced to look for a solution. And this is when they do the search. They find us on the internet or they find us on our website. They look into us and then we provide the product and they say, wow, this is a fantastic product. And so we have many municipalities that have come to that realization. Unfortunately, a lot of the municipalities, because they rent their services out to beach services to put up rental umbrellas, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because what they don't want to do is they don't want to scare off visitors by demanding that they use a type of umbrella that they might not know or might not have access to because they've never heard of us before. And if they come to that beach access point and they see a sign there saying that you must use a beach, if you're going to use a beach umbrella, you must use an F3681 ASTM compliant anchor. Well, if they don't have that, that's going to be a tough day for the beach or a tough week at the beach if you need an umbrella. If you're one of those families that absolutely has to have a shade on the beach, it's a game changer. So we are now having municipalities that see it. They understand how important this is, and they're starting to post these signs. This is going to be a very important year for a lot of beachgoers, because as municipalities see the importance of this, they're going to start posting these signs. And if you're one of those unlucky, unfortunate beachgoers that goes to your favorite beach and you see a beach access sign, there's a lot of liability that's going to be assigned to everybody that's using a non-compliant umbrella. And everybody wants to be safe. People don't want to break the laws. They want to make sure they're using a compliant product. So it's really important for people to understand what's coming, what their municipalities are going to start regulating, what they're going to start asking beachgoers. It's a public service campaign to inform people of this. And this is one of the purposes why we want to do things like we're doing with you today.
Right.
When we go on national television, we run commercials, we do all these things to bring awareness, to let people know that you want to make sure you're safe at the beach. It's a game changer. When you go to the beach and you have a safe umbrella and the umbrella is not even moving in a 20-mile-an-hour wind, it changes your whole day at the beach. It becomes less stressful, more enjoyable, because you can enjoy your family, the kids, and everything around you, and you're not constantly worrying about your beach umbrella, whether it's going to launch into the air.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it sounds like it's really going to change the beach day for sure. So for business owners out there, especially those that are in e-commerce, retail, or even just product development like yourself, what advice would you give them about staying ahead of the curve?
Well, they need to do the research and understand what's coming. And they understand that the municipalities are going to force consumers and the retailers, in those jurisdictions, but also the resorts and the beach services to start complying with this standard. And so it's really important for beachgoers to get ahead of this so that they're not surprised when they come to the beach. It's important for the municipalities to start posting these signs, because without posting these signs, along with all the other safety signs that they post, they're exposing themselves to tremendous liability. And unfortunately, we don't want another severe injury. We don't want another fatality as a result of this. We want people just to step up to the plate and do the right thing. And the right thing right now is to inform everybody of this standard. It's common. It's a consent standard. It's not a regulatory rule that is imposing a lot on people to do this. There are products out there. We happen to be one of the first. And of course, I'm a little biased, and I think that our product works really, really well, and it's really easy to use. But as consumers start looking for choices, they're going to start seeing products out there that actually carry the compliant label. And it's very important. If you're going to use a beach umbrella, make sure that whatever anchoring device that you use has a compliant label. It'll say ASTM F30-24 compliant anchor, and it'll spell that out there. That's on the anchor, so that if you go into a beach where the municipality's checking it, lifeguards, beach patrol, they can actually see that sticker. And once they see that sticker, then they say, you're fine, you can use your umbrella. If you don't have it on there, they may ask you to take your umbrella down. And as we all know, on a hot, sunny day when it's 95 degrees and it's blazing sun,
Happening.
I'm going home. I'm not going to sit on the beach and get a sunburn. Sorry.
No. Well, it sounds like BeachBub's really transformed the way people are spending their time at the beach today. What's next for your company?
Well, right now this has been my retirement for the last 15 years. I was hoping to spend my time with my grandchildren, my family, but I really thought this was a big calling, and maybe this is my legacy. I'm going to leave the beach world, and my hope is that more people learn about this, and we never hear or never see another windblown umbrella going down, injuring a small child, a person, a beachgoer. Nobody wants to experience what we witness. And anybody that's witnessed a beach umbrella accident, it's just earth shattering. Because we're all out there with our bathing suits on. We're back to nature. And when you see something like this happen, nobody's expecting this, and it comes out of the blue. And
Right.
and we can leave this to the beach. If I can leave this to the beach world, to the legacy beachgoers throughout the world, that there is a safe way. That'll just be so. It'll be really neat. It'll really be neat to see this happen. And that's what my focus is right now. It's not about selling 1 million umbrellas. It's about changing the way we go to the beach, and let's make it more stress-free, more enjoyable. Look, it should be the greatest week that you have. This is what people do. They go to the beach and they enjoy their friends and their family. You've got your kids running around, and nothing can be better than this. I mean, it is back to nature.
Come home in one piece.
All come home in one piece, and without any horrific stories to tell.
Yeah, that's an amazing story and an amazing mission. So you should be commended for that.
Well, thank you.
So for our listeners here, could you tell us where they could go to get connected with the BeachBub in the United States?
So I would recommend going to our website, which is www.beachbub, BeachBub.com. And not only have we solved the problem with the flyaway umbrellas, I've looked at every single thing that people wrestle with their beach umbrellas, from how do you keep things sand free? How do you provide a tilted shade without tilting an umbrella that creates a drag on your umbrella and actually creates more force to pull it out? We've created the sun visor. We've created a tray table system that works fabulous. We have unbelievable, fabulous reviews on this. We came up with a flag and a flagpole that can go into the top of your umbrella. So if you have family members or friends that are trying to find you on a crowded beach, when they come over the dunes, they can look a block away and they can see exactly where you are. Or if you're always struggling with the kids while they're in the water and that tide is drifting them away, they always know where home base is. You can fly your colors on that flag. You can fly your university, your college, your sports team. You can fly Old Glory. Everything we're doing and everything that we've developed over the last 10 to 12 years is solution-based to solve a problem that people are wrestling with. From the way an umbrella inverts to the way that the umbrella actually works, to the way that it opens, to everything is rust-free, everything's stainless steel, aluminum. There is no corrosive parts on this umbrella whatsoever. And we've just recently finished building out. It took 3 years to build the very first commercial-based umbrella for the average consumer. So this umbrella has these umbrellas have a 10-year frame warranty. So you can buy this umbrella and you're not going to worry about buying another umbrella for 10 years. In fact, it may be the very last umbrella that you ever buy. And if the canopy needs refreshing, we can put a new canopy on that. We have a canopy tensioning system that's built in. It's a patented design. We put a canopy on there, it brings it right back to life, and now you got a brand new umbrella.
Nice. That's awesome. This has been an eye-opening conversation about beach umbrellas. I know a lot of people will think twice about their beach umbrellas after hearing this. And thank you for the work that you're doing, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, let me leave you with this one last thing. We all know how important it is to bring things back to the United States. We are based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. We're the only U.S.-based beach umbrella company for the average beachgoer that's in this country. Everything else comes from overseas, primarily China. And China really doesn't give any attention to functionality or to safety. Everything we're doing is geared towards functionality, safety, and making our days better at the beach.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and to our listeners, if you found this conversation valuable, make sure to share it with your fellow beach lovers. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks so much.
Bye.